Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny and folks, it's a little bit chilly out here. As you can tell, I've got long sleeves, but you can see what we're going to talk about again. So we're going to get right to the point. You're looking at, folks, a 1999 Toyota 4Runner. Now that thing is 22 years old, or this thing is 22 years old. Now I want to help you just a little bit if I can, because many of you may be contemplating buying a new vehicle. Let me suggest to you one thing. Don't buy new just yet, and especially if you're on a tight budget. And I want to say this with all regards to whomever it may be that is interested in buying a new vehicle. Why not just buy a good used vehicle? Now, and the reason I say that is this. Right now, with money being tight, and everybody knows that's a big problem right now, I think it makes a lot more sense to buy something that's good and used rather than buy brand new. I'm going to say this. I would have to be a millionaire before I would buy a new car right now or a new truck. Why would I say that? Because the value of them, they depreciate so rapidly. You can take it off of the lot, a brand new truck or car, and the next day, the value of it will depreciate at least 10%. The next day or two, it will depreciate at least that much. This thing here has got 200,000 miles on it, and I want to talk just a little bit about the pros and cons of it. It's a Toyota. It's got 200,000 miles on it, like I said. And I'm going to say this, Toyota is known for their long durability and lasting and lasting and lasting. They are like the ever-ready Energizer Bunny that you have seen on TV as years have went by. They just keep right on going, right on going, right on going. Now, let me show you this thing. The paint on this thing is hardly visible of any sign of decay. It's still got that fairly decent texture of paint to it. And it's got the original wheels on here. Now, I'm not talking about the tires, I'm talking about the rims. It's got those on it originally. And it has got the sunroof that still works. And the only amount of rust this thing has got on it, if you can believe that, is on the rear bumper. It's got just a little bit of rust there, and that's it. Back then, they made metal that really withstood a lot of pressure and weather that hits it. It's still very, very much sturdy and strong. Now, I'm going to raise the hood on this thing, and I'm going to start the engine. There's three things I like about this truck, being a 1999. It's got a 4-cylinder engine in it, which means it's cheap on gas. It's got plenty of power, although it's just a 2-wheel drive. And another thing is, the insurance on this thing is very, very low. And the taxes on it is also very low. So you see the benefits of buying an older vehicle or a used vehicle. It costs less to maintain them, and if you use a little common sense and shop around before you buy one from a huge dealer, look on Marketplace or look on Craigslist, and you can negotiate with these people before you buy, but you can't do a whole lot of negotiating out there in the big dealership. So let's start this thing. Let me show you up close here. This thing runs quiet. And the only thing I've done to this thing in the past 22 years is change the fluids, change the oil, change the battery, put new tires on it, and virtually that's it. Except for one detail here. I've got to replace, before summer comes, my air conditioner compressor. The bearing went out in it, so I've got to replace that. And that, everything has never been touched. The motor has never been touched. Now I'm looking forward with this thing. I've had a few offers, people like they want to buy it. But thus far, I just can't depart with it. I'm hoping for another 150, 200 more thousand miles, and then I might sell it, okay? So let me turn this engine off. Now keep in mind, after 22 years and 200,000 miles, can you blame me for saying no to people that want to buy it? I mean, I like to hold on to something that's good. When I've got something that I know is beneficial and that really works and that's dependable, there's not many vehicles these days that is as old as this that are still around and still alive to tell about it. For the most part, they're in the graveyard, the junkyard, you know what I mean? But this thing is still trucking. And I'm talking about, let me say this very briefly. Don't go buy a brand new vehicle if you're on a budget. Shop around and find you something that's going to be reliable and that can really get you to where you need to go and not cost you an arm and a leg. If you've got $1 million, go and buy your brand new vehicle, because these days, who wants those payments? Come on, those payments. You get a truck for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and it'll break the bank. Your payment will run from $1,000 to $1,200 a month. It's not worth it. The interior of this thing is still relatively decent after all of these years. So I wanted to share my overall analysis of this truck. I'm going to say it is reliable. It is durable. It is tough. It's cheap to operate. It's cheap to own. It's lasting and lasting and lasting. I give it a 5-star rating. And let me tell you once again, if I ever buy a brand new truck, which I don't anticipate that happening anytime soon, but I would buy a Toyota in a heartbeat again and again and again, because I know what they're made of and I know what they're capable of doing, and I know that Toyota is known for running and running and running. I give it a 5-star, hands down, and would buy it again. Listen, you might be a brand new viewer to my channel, and listen, would you do us a favor and give us a big thumbs up and ring that bell and subscribe to the channel? And listen, as always, you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll talk to you later.